Oh, here's your Backstage pass.
Quiet on the set.
Action!
Welcome to Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by Chef Lisa Dahl. This is your inside look into culture, curators, and creative artists. And now, your host, Shondra.
Welcome, my VIPs. You've got your Backstage Pass, and you are in, just like you are every Saturday at 10 a.m. Remember, you can always hear this show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even on mellowmountainradio.com, and, of course, streaming live every Saturday at 10 a.m. on mellowmountainradio.com, and also on the radio at KAZM 106.5 FM and 780 a.m. So much fun. I just want to, right at the top of the show, I'm going to thank my engineer, Ryan Thompson. He always makes this show sound fantastic. He produces it. It's wonderful. Thank you, Ryan. And I also want to just tell you that I've got some really good guests for you. I'm excited about that. And I'm going to tell you about a few things that are going on that are really important to me, actually. First of all, my calendar of events is sponsored by Sedona Ballet, and Woody Munch, the executive director there, the founder of Sedona Ballet, is doing a wonderful job of taking dance and making it even more accessible to young people and all ages, actually. She just had this big workshop. It was like it was long, 7-8 days, maybe even 9 days. I'm not looking at my notes here, where she brought choreographers and dancers and allowing students to come in and watch all these great performances that were being created. And she's going to do that again, you guys. You're going to make sure you got to catch that in 2026. It's going to be so much fun. It's always in the spring. This will be the second one. Exciting about that. So I'll tell you more about that as the days go on here. I want to tell you about something that's happening this weekend. A few things besides the Dead Quilters Society going up on November 7th, 8th, and 9th. You can get your tickets at deadquilters.com, a brand new website, and also you can get tickets at sedonamuseum.org. And I will tell you more about that later on. I want to tell you about Walk into Beauty. This is a wonderful, wonderful event talking about dance, because there is going to be live dancers, live music. There's even a film connected to this. And what is the Walk into Beauty? Well, first of all, Amy Waddell of the Waddell family, she has brought, with the help of Wendy Lippman, and we're going to hear from Wendy in a few moments. She's going to tell you about this. She's going to honor her dad, John Henry Waddell, with all of these beautiful bronze figures that she's brought into Tlaquepaque. And I have to tell you, this man was a phenomenal sculptor. His sculptures are beautiful. And within this 2-day event, which is November 7th and November 8th, starting at 11 a.m., I should say, take it back, November 7th, it starts from 4 p.m. and goes till 7 p.m. It's the opening reception at Renee Taylor's Gallery. And it features live dance and a short film and drinks. And then the following day, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., November 8th, there's a sculpture walk and exhibits throughout Tlaquepaque. There's also, at 11, there's a rising film screening. That is a film that Amy Waddell actually directed. She's a wonderful director. And by the way, she's the director of Weird Detention. And so that screening is going to be at Mary Fisher Theater, which is part of the Sedona International Film Festival. And there's also, there's just so much going on. I want you to take a look at TLAQ.com. That's Tlaquepaque's website, TLAQ.com. You're going to find all the information. Just look at the Walk into Beauty event. It is absolutely going to be stunning. And there will be live dancers actually dancing among the sculptures. Just beautiful. So that's going on. I also want to mention that Sedona International Film Festival, I always talk about them because they are becoming the hub, along with Tlaquepaque, for entertainment and events. And they always have great events. They have a ton of stuff coming up. And I want you to check out all of the events coming up there by visiting SedonaFilmFestival.com. That's a great place to find out about indie films that are coming into town, events, plays, musicals. Even Dead Quilters worked there back in this year in March. So make sure you go to of course, SedonaFilmFestival.com, and be on the lookout because their big film festival, and it's 9 days. This is touted as one of the best film festivals in the country and around the world, by the way, because they are, after all, the Sedona International Film Festival. That takes place in the middle of February all the way through the very top of March. And hopefully I will see you there. I host a lot of those movies. Great film festival. So much fun. And I'm sure soon you will be hearing about them because they'll have tickets on sale. Really fun. Okay, and if you're looking for some other events that are going on, make sure that you go to communitylibrarysedona.org. Check them out. SedonaArtCenter.org. Again, SedonaMuseum.org. Lots of events coming up for the holidays. And also SedonaBallet.org. And, of course, Sedona.net, Sedona.biz. All of them have wonderful websites. We'll tell you about all kinds of events coming up. Now, I always love having the guest that I'm going to introduce right now on the air with me. Fantastic stories. The executive director of the Sedona Heritage Museum, Nate Meyers. Nate, it's so great to have you in the studio. You have like the very, very best stories. So cool. The history, like unbelievable, the things that you know. And we're going to talk a little bit about today collections. But at first I want to ask you, it's been 3 years now, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. Actually, a little past.
It was 3 years in September, yeah.
3 years that you've been the executive director. How you doing?
Great.
Good.
It's a lot of fun.
We love you, and you can't go anywhere.
Okay.
It's the way it goes. You know, everybody, the entire city adores Nate. I mean, you're really great at what you do. No, it's the truth, though. You know, it's like, and you really have dug in. There's so many new things that have happened since you've been here. I mean, seriously, we've got a new park, right? The one by Tlaquepaque.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Brewer Road Park and the museum played a role in helping that.
Big
a little
time.
bit. I mean, that's a city thing, but I mean,
yeah,
we played a role. Yeah,
the cleanup of the cemetery, the big one, the one right in West
Cook
Sedona.
Cedar Glade. Yeah,
yeah. And the museum has had a huge impact on that.
Yeah, and we're working on the Shorman Homestead out there off the Loop Road. So, yeah, a lot going on.
Really, I mean, good stuff happening. Also, the walking into Uptown, the plaques,
the history walk that got installed this summer. Yeah,
and then the other exhibit at the Heritage Museum about water, which is fabulous, and it's exciting. The whole thing is like wow. And tonight is the Dead Quilters Society. It's up. Tonight is it's a November 8th today, so I have to remember. And so if you want to come see the show, that is a lot to do. I'm telling you, we're doing a podcast and we're doing a show tonight.
In the middle of performances. Yeah.
There you go. So if you want to come to Dead Quilters tonight, you know how to find it, SedonaMuseum.org. And so let's talk about the fact of you came from Chandler, right? Mm-hmm. Is that a large museum?
We always thought of ourselves as a small museum.
Bigger than what we have?
It's bigger than what we have here for now. We're growing.
Yes, we are. That's right.
We always kind of thought of ourselves as small when I worked there, and while I was working there, I served for about 10 years on the American Association for State and Local Histories National Small Museum Committee, and I don't know if it would be considered small anymore. It continues to grow down there, and I was part of building a big, beautiful museum building, which was just an amazing project to be a part of. But
fabulous.
But yeah, I never for a second have I regretted the decision to come to Sedona.
Good.
It's been great.
Good. Like I said, you can never leave. Okay. You're going to be like 90. No, I don't even want to talk about where I'll be. That's hopefully at a good place. All right. So now let's talk about the fact that you were a curator there, right? What exactly did you do? Did you collect collections?
Yeah, I was the collections curator. There was some bureaucratic finagling that changed my title to coordinator at one point, but it was the same thing. I was doing curation. So I was in charge of the museum's collection program. So collecting the artifacts, collecting the archival items, taking care of those things, interpreting them, and putting exhibits together. So
it's a pretty big deal.
It was.
I mean, being a curator is huge.
Yeah.
And there's you have to wear, I mean, when you're really touching things like that, especially paper, right? All that has to be preserved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The stereotype is the white cotton gloves.
Yes. Is that...
I moved away from those a long time ago for a couple reasons, and this is going to get into some real museum nerd stuff. But,
okay, good.
They get dirty.
Yes.
You got to wash them. You got to use a certain kind of laundry detergent. You can't use normal laundry detergent because it'll leave residue and whatever. And I personally could never take them home to wash them because my wife and I always have pets, and pet hair gets on things, and now we can't go and handle collections with pet hair on our gloves. So actually a long time ago, probably 15 years ago, I started using nitrile gloves.
Nitrile gloves.
Yeah, you can just find them in the cleaning aisle in the grocery store.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and then you're just done with them.
And single use, and
bam.
They're it's expensive to recycle them, but you can recycle them, and so, those don't lose their grip. That's the other thing with the cotton gloves; they're slippery.
Oh,
so
not
if you're
good.
handling glass or something, that can be a little bit.
Did you
slick,
ever?
but...
Okay, I have to ask.
No, I never dropped anything.
Never dropped. No. You know what I'm talking about.
No.
Did you ever know anybody who dropped something? I mean, this is really a horror.
I will keep that to myself.
Okay, that means yes. Okay, because it has got to have happened.
No, for sure. And part of the training for working in collections is learning how to handle everything.
Jeez, can you imagine?
And so it's giving support to everything. It's not necessarily using things the way that you or I would use them in our everyday lives, right? So you might have, let's say you've got a coffee mug in your collection. You or I at home, we're just going to grab it by the handle and lift it. Well, that's actually going to be the weakest part of the artifact once it's in the collection is where that handle connects to the mug. So you actually are going to not lift it by the handle. You're going to use two hands and put one underneath it and wrap it. So it's learning how to handle things.
Yes, I was going to
say. So you don't drop them.
I was going to say, this is like a bad movie, a very funny movie that you want to cry at.
When things happen, because things happen. I'm not going to say things haven't happened, but
yes.
And it's a bad feeling.
What's the craziest thing that's happened to you in a museum? I mean, is there anything that's happened in a museum? I mean, people come in with collections all the time, don't they?
Oh, yeah. I mean, people come in with stuff to donate all the time. And one of the things that was actually a hard lesson to learn was how to say no.
I can imagine.
Museums can't just collect everything, right? We have to collect to our mission. And so at Sedona Heritage Museum, it's to collect and preserve and share the history of Sedona and Red Rock Country. And that means in practice that anything anyone wants to donate to us has to have a connection to Sedona. You have to be able to use it to tell a Sedona story.
So that's the difference then. It can't be just something old.
No.
It has to be something that has a connection to Sedona. So what if it was just a resident that lived here for years and years and years and had something that was old and they did live in Sedona, like let's say somebody's great-grandmother or grandmother who's no longer living, and then they want to give you something that's old, and she did live in Sedona. Is that a Sedona connection?
That's tenuous. And it would have to, to have that tenuous a connection, really need more. It would have to be something that just tells such a unique story that yes, we have to. But that does happen quite frequently because Arizona, Sedona, retirement destinations, right?
Yes.
And so plenty of people come here with their stuff that they've collected from their family, and they're like, well, my kids don't want it, my grandkids don't want it, so I want it in a museum. Okay, great. Tell me about the piece. Well, I moved here with it. I inherited it from my grandmother. It was her wedding dress or whatever, right? Okay, well, did your grandmother live here? Did you get married here? No, she's from, Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Well, here's the number for the museum in Oshkosh, give them a call.
Yes, I get it now. Yeah. And I think that it's important for everyone to know this because we have our prized possessions and we feel that we want to preserve history. It's just that it has to have a Sedona connection.
Yeah, for us to collect it, it has to have a Sedona connection. And so we look hard for that. And we have documents that tell us what we're looking for. So our mission is the big one. But we also have a collection policy. And in that, it tells us here are the areas we're looking to collect in. Here are the themes that we look to interpret. Here are the geographical areas that we look at. So, our collection policy says, Sedona and Red Rock Country, but what does that mean? That means Village of Oak Creek, means Big Park, means Elmerville, it means Page Springs, it means, Oak Creek Canyon, it means Indian Gardens. So, listing those things out so that we know, and we can point to it and say, to a donor who maybe doesn't understand why we don't think that grandma's Wisconsin wedding dress is the best thing in the world.
Right.
It might be really fantastic, but here's why it's not right for us.
Yes, I think it's great that we have it on paper. It's right there. It's nothing like that because you can just go, not about me. I'm not making it up.
Yeah.
It's just on paper. So that's good to know. If you want to donate something, wonderful. Just remember that whatever you're donating has to, here in Sedona, at the Heritage Museum, has to have that connection to Sedona.
Yeah. And if there's a question, call us. Call us and ask.
There you go.
If you're not sure, we are happy to take a look at anything and everything, and it might surprise you what we say yes to. There's probably, I can say, there's definitely a perception that not just our museum, but any history museum is just looking for, quote, old things.
Right.
Actually, age of an item has nothing to do with whether it should be in a museum or not. And,
interesting.
Shondra, you and I were talking before this interview about you were on the board of the Historical Society when I came and did my job interview here.
Yes.
Right? And I remember sitting in the meeting room over there at the library with the whole board there, talking to you guys, giving my presentation, and pointing out this very point that this was in 2022. And I looked around the room and I said, every one of us sitting in this room just survived a major historical event, which was the COVID pandemic.
COVID, right.
And that had just happened. It had nothing to do with it being old. It was nonetheless an historic event. And so the age of something actually really has nothing to do with whether we'll collect it or not. It's what are the stories it can tell.
Yeah, I love that. Now the tour, when you go to the Heritage Museum, you still have the audio recordings, yes? And which is fantastic, by the way. And Tom was the narrator of that, and many people, Mike Peach is on it, a whole bunch of actors who are fantastic. And the reason I bring that up is because those people have created some history as well, and you can hear about the history of different people. You've changed all the exhibits. I know you've really gone through with a fine-tooth comb, haven't you, with the exhibits to make sure that they are the real, authentic, have that Sedona story to them. Yeah,
every story we tell at the museum really, at its core, it's like, how is this helping whoever's looking at it understand this place we call Sedona and this place that we call home, right? And so that's the jumping off point for all of them. And on top of that, I know we do exhibits that people are always sad to see go.
Oh, yes.
Always, but
yes.
There are so many stories to be told from our community's history. And just think about like the large geographical swath I just laid out.
I know.
And I mean, how many people have lived in those places? How many people have done things? How many events have taken place? How many, it's just, there's so many stories to tell that we have to keep changing exhibits.
And also individuals that are no longer with us that created a lot here.
Sure.
I know on one of the shows with Luke Sefton, we talked about Dave Bloward and all that he did here. All the, Posse Grounds Park didn't exist until Dave Bloward created it. And there's just so many more things. And there's a lot of people that have left us who have left a legacy here. And that reminds me about this. I think putting up presentations and displays and and these kinds of you just said it. I'm like losing words here. Exhibits. Thank you. Exhibits. How long do you keep them going? What's usually the length of time? Is there?
It depends on the size of them. It depends on the resources you put into them. It depends on how compelling a story it is. It depends on if the story's timely. If there's a story we're doing to celebrate an anniversary, or I shouldn't even say celebrate. This gets into a whole new realm of museum nerdness. But I don't think museums should celebrate things. That's
especially
not what a museum's for.
Yes, especially things that were difficult.
Commemorating.
We're
sharing these stories, but it doesn't necessarily follow that we celebrate things. But,
right.
If we're marking an anniversary with an exhibit or something, right, a 50th anniversary of a club in town or something, that exhibit's not going to stay up as long as maybe some other exhibits because the anniversary is only, at most a year, right?
Right.
So,
what would you say is? Do you know what is the longest going organization here in Sedona? I know that Keep Sedona Beautiful is one of them.
Keep Sedona Beautiful is well into its 50s.
Yes. And you did an exhibit
just got a
for
request not too long ago from the Humane Society looking into some of their history. They've been around a long time.
Wow. God bless those
the library's got a long history.
I was going to say, yes,
very long history.
Yeah.
Going back to like when they moved the locations to where they are now, they set up literally a hand to hand. Everybody lined up along 89A and passed books.
Oh, you're kidding! When did that happen? I missed that.
When they moved in.
Oh my gosh!
There. Yeah.
Wow!
So that would have been before you or I was in town,
right?
Yeah,
for sure. I know Rotary has gone on for a really long time.
The Rotary clubs have been around for a long time. Yeah,
yeah. So we've got a lot of history here as far as for our town here. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's always so interesting. So speaking about legacies, we're going to leave with this. What's the legacy? If you had to say in 2 sentences. What would you be leaving as a legacy?
My elevator pitch?
Yes, quick.
For the legacy?
I can't believe we've run out of time.
Run out of time already. I'm trying to build something for the future. So the museum is to collect the stories of our community's history, but it's to share them with a modern audience and be able to help us understand where we've come from so we understand where we're going. And so it's very much a future-looking organization rather than one focused entirely on the past.
That's good. So that means that the people that are fairly current here, I mean, let's just say people who have passed, you would maybe be documenting all the things that they contributed, and any of us as well. Yep. Anything that's happening and building for our future to know who everybody is now, currently doing things.
Yes, absolutely. And to me, as we think about our community and what makes it a special place, it doesn't matter to me if your family's been here for 3 generations or if you just moved here yesterday. You are now part of the Sedona story. And you have a story to tell that's important for us to document and share.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I love that. I love it because there are so many incredible individuals here. I mean, really, doing wonderful things, building new organizations, new events, fundraising for different things, and there are lots of nonprofits here. So, what do we have to look forward to as far as what do you think? Are we going to be doing just really different kinds of exhibits?
Yeah, I think you've probably already seen the shift in some of the stories we tell and how we tell them.
Most definitely, the whole Thompson story is completely different now.
Yeah, and I think that one of the things that I've tried to emphasize, and Shondra, you've probably heard it too many times, but hopefully the audience hasn't. But like, there's a difference between fact and truth, and our job at the museum as historians is to establish what the facts are by not relying on a single source, but saying, okay, this source says this. Can I corroborate that? Or do the other sources, kind of undermine it? and suggest, well, maybe that isn't the case. And so that's kind of, since you mentioned the J.J. Thompson story, that's one that kind of struck me right off the bat. It was like, the story is not that he showed up and just happened to be out for a ride during the Apache Wars and, quote, discovered gardens of corn, beans, and squash and said, it's mine now. It can't be, because, like, A, that's far too dangerous, a time and place to be doing that, and B, it totally ignores, and more importantly, totally ignores the fact that people were living here already.
Yes.
And so what's the story of the people who are living here? And then how does that story interact with the J.J. Thompson story? And where do we get the J.J. Thompson story? Well, it turns out we got that just from the family's retelling of the story.
Yes.
Well, the family's going to want to make themselves look,
of course,
as good as possible.
Yeah, nobody wants to.
No.
It's not their fault.
No, not at all.
They have nothing to do with it.
You don't want to think that Grandpa stole land from Native Americans.
Right.
But Grandpa stole land from Native Americans is what we find out when we start piecing together all the sources, right? From his own words, where he says it, but also from what we know about from military records and memoirs of soldiers who were there and participated, and biographies and first-hand accounts and primary sources, secondary sources. So you look at all this evidence, and then you start piecing together what the story is. And one of the things that I love about history is that our interpretation of those facts changes all the time, because we're finding new information. More resources are becoming available. The way we think about those resources and those facts changes. And so that's one of the things I really love about history is, contrary to what probably most people think, it is not static.
No.
It's not set.
Oh,
it does change.
It's incredible.
The facts even might change based on
because of what
sources,
you find.
Based on what you find.
Well, this is just fascinating. This has been an incredible time talking to you about history and about what's going on at the Sedona Heritage Museum. Make sure, if you are visiting, be there. It is a wonderful place. And it's going to tell you a lot about Sedona's history and incredible displays, exhibits. Make sure you do it there on Jordan Road. Go to sedonamuseum.org for more information, for the shows, events, and all the fun things. Thank you, Nate, for being with us. And I will be back, so stay with me.
You can taste it in every bite. For over 30 years, Chef Lisa Dahl has redefined what it means to dine in Sedona, serving soulful, handcrafted cuisine inspired by love, artistry, and community. From the wood-fired kitchens of Mariposa to the couture flair of Butterfly Burger, every experience is elevated, every ingredient intentional. To learn more about Lisa Dahl and the Dahl restaurants, please visit cheflisadahl.com.
Need a clean car fast? Come to Cleaner, Quicker Car Wash. We'll have you sparkling and back on the road in minutes. Whether you're after a quick shine or a deep clean, you'll get top quality service, eco-friendly soaps, and smiles all around. Drive up, shine up, and feel good, all without slowing down your day, and look like a star in your car. Located in West Sedona on Highway 89A. For more information, visit cleanerquickercarwash.com.
Here's more of Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by the Dahl Group.
Oh my gosh. Do I have to say this, like how excited I am? I say this a lot, but I want you to know I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to have this individual in the studio with me today. You know her, and you have seen her running around Tlaquepaque Arts and Crafts Village. She is one of the owners. I just adore this woman. She is a hard worker. Wendy Lippman is in the house. Oh, gosh, thank you. I'm like beside myself. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
I mean, like, you just to get you away from what you're doing is almost a miracle.
This is true. I don't come out often, but for you, Shondra, you got it.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, God, we've known you. Tom and I have known you for 23 years.
At least, yeah. Been here going on 28, so it's crazy.
Is that crazy?
It's crazy. Time flies.
Oh, my gosh. You know, a lot of people don't know the history of Tlaquepaque Arts and Crafts Village. Can you tell us a little bit about it? It's like a summary of it.
A summary? Sure. I will try, and you can cut me off anytime.
Okay.
So basically, it started as a dream of the developer and visionary Abe Miller, who was actually a developer in Las Vegas. Oh. I think it was kind of one of his life goals was to kind of find a place in the U.S. That he could have an arts and crafts destination like he had seen in Mexico, Guadalajara specifically, Tlaquepaque. He visited. He actually had his own plane. So he actually, before he even found Sedona, he traveled all over the place. I mean, he looked at New Mexico, he looked at Solvang, he looked at all these different places, and then he ended up finding Tlaquepaque, the site, which of course was actually orchards, and the Gerards owned it at that time.
Oh, that's interesting.
The Gerards lived in what is Secret Garden.
Oh.
It's some fun history. Yeah.
Is it true, though, that Sedona was kind of in that same area where Tlaquepaque is and also where Los Abrigados is, which is your neighbor?
So, yeah, I would say Sedona grew up around Tlaquepaque.
Okay.
Yeah. If you go back to the old photos in the 70s, you'll see that there's us, and there's really nothing around us except garlands. You'll see the garlands building. But Los Abrigados, I think, didn't start construction until 78, 79, and we opened in 73.
Okay, so when did you actually go into construction?
That part I couldn't tell you, but I know because Abe did that construction. So Abe and I are not related, although Abe looks like my father. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, so Abe took this project on. He worked with McIntyre was one of the architects. There were several other local players that I think might still be around. Gail Herrick's dad was involved.
Oh, okay.
You always are meeting people here and there that are like, oh my God, my dad worked on that project when it was being built.
That's so cool.
But I think it was like 71 he started it. Okay. And then the El Rincon building over there, El Rincon was actually the first building that was erected.
Oh, wow.
And we call that the experimental building. So if you're ever really like an architectural buff or really interested in it, you can go look at the columns, he did all different kinds of tests and different ways, different methods to get the look that he was going after. I'm sure many locals here know that Abe was the one who said, forget the plum, use your thumb. He wanted everything to be very fluid, very natural, very like spiritual. I mean, cool. He was very, I don't want to say intense. That's probably not the right word, but to me, he was a very intense, very just had a very direct vision, focused on what he was trying to accomplish. So what's exciting about that courtyard, besides the El Rincon, which he actually had intended to tear it down, but because he had put so much money into it, doing all these different kinds of architectural styles, which is all Spanish colonial architecture, he ended up keeping it up.
By the way, you've got to go there. El Rincon is a wonderful restaurant. And also there's entertainment on Monday and Tuesdays right there on the patio.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Oh, it is 3 days.
Gaetano and his friends. You never know who might show up with Gaetano. We're just all over the place here.
And it was so much fun. Patrick Key. I had to kind of divert a little bit over there. Because, people have got to go.
Well, it's hugely popular.
It is.
Gaetano is a great crowd pleaser.
Patrick Key also joins
Patrick Key's there. He's got family members. Sometimes Gaetano's wife's there, and forgive me for other musicians that I know many local musicians join in, and it's a big thing.
It's great.
But yeah, so what's funny, just to finish this up, but that courtyard specifically, the second floor was where all the artisans lived.
Oh, so how cool is that?
Yeah.
I love that.
If you actually go tour through some of the stores up there, you can see like the beehive fireplaces. You can see evidence that they were actually residential, more like studios.
Oh, that's very cool. I had no idea.
Yeah, most of the tenants have a bathtub.
I love it.
Kind of funny.
That's very funny.
But yeah, there's so many great stories about Tlaquepaque. I mean, basically, when he also started that development, he had to put a ton of fill in. So when you look at the sycamore trees, which are my babies, those are actually, you're looking at them they're several feet buried under the ground.
Oh my gosh.
So they're even bigger than what you see today.
Wow. And they are magnificent.
Yeah.
They line 179.
Yep.
They are there. They're gorgeous. And thank you very much for saving those trees.
Yes. And we still try and save them. I mean, they're definitely over 150 years old. We have probably 140 on the property.
My goodness.
And it's a labor of love to take care of those and to treat them and preserve them. And I love them. And they are definitely part of the essence of Tlaquepaque.
Totally. It's what helps make it magical out there.
And the shade. And
it's beautiful.
It's a great vibe.
It does. It's very nurturing out there. Really, really beautiful. You got to go. If you're a tourist and you're planning a trip and you're listening right now, you have to go to Tlaquepaque Arts and Crafts Village. There's wonderful restaurants, boutiques, galleries. It's great. And I always call it the heart of Sedona because you bring community together. You've got great events. Tom and I have worked several of them.
Yes.
You know, the luminaries that went on for years.
Yes.
You've got Day of the Dead coming up here really
November
quick.
1st.
I love that event. That is a great event.
It's a great event.
Oh, it's so good. You got to go. Day of the Dead. It's awesome. November 1st. And then you've got other things happening in December. You have the menorah lighting, which is coming up. I've got to talk about this. The Waddell.
Yes. That's the most, that's actually Day of the Dead is beyond exciting, and it's a lot, that's a labor of love because it's very intensive. If no one's familiar with Day of the Dead, you know, it's a time of remembrance and celebrating your loved ones that have left us. And it's not a sad or scary event. It's a very loving, wonderful, musical, colorful, on and on event. We'll have vignettes all throughout the property, and people are welcome to join in. So you can bring photos, you can write letters, whatever. So I want to say that is a fun event. But what's new for us this year is the Waddell event. Well, for us, what's new is that we are so lucky. I feel very lucky. It's actually through Renee Taylor and View Gallery at Tlaquepaque that they were able to install over 18 life-size sculptures of John Waddell.
And they are beautiful. They're
magical.
Beautiful.
They're classical. They're romantic. You could go on, and a majority of them are dancers. All his models, I believe, were dancers, except for family members and things like that. So those are displayed all throughout Tlaquepaque. They all have QR codes that tell you the story, the backing behind them. Amy Waddell, his daughter, has been beyond instrumental and beyond helpful and beyond amazing in executing this and choreographing this to the detail that has been installed and the way it's been done. To celebrate this installation, the gallery and Amy and I'm participating in an event, and let me tell you what it's called. It's called Walk into Beauty, the Waddell Sculpture Walk. It is absolutely going to be phenomenal because you also have dancers coming from the Sedona Dance Project. Yeah, the Sedona Dance Project has been a wonderful organization to work with. They have really taken this project on very seriously, which I'm thrilled because, the videos of just them practicing, you can go to our Facebook page and see that. They make the sculpture come alive. Oh, I have to tell you, I was there when they were like rehearsing or taking photos. I had to drop something off at Patrick Keyes because he was here and he left something. Thank you, Patrick. But we went and I was like, oh my gosh, look what's happening here. And there were dancers and they were doing all kinds of different dances around the sculptures. It was incredible. He's so amazing. John Waddell, the artist. I mean, he's deceased, of course, but. So that's why it's even more exciting to have these pieces represented. But everything with him was about movement. And so to have the dancers come they will be dancing through the property to all of the sculptures. So I think it's going to be a very experiential experience. And it'll really introduce you to what the Waddell is about. Yes, so it's November 7th and 8th. The 7th is from 4 to 7 p.m. and the 8th is from 11 to 5 p.m.
Yeah, there was again no time. It's no time limit because it's so gorgeous. So 11 to 5 on November 8th.
And there'll be little treats and surprises around on those, at least on Saturday for sure. And it's a non-ticketed event.
I was just going to say, and
come,
all of your events are that.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Everything we do, we try to be free to the community. Yeah. Which I love, and I'm glad that we're able to do that. But yeah, so even if you're never heard of John Waddell, I think it's actually worth a trip, as I say, to get off the couch, go out and experience something and get, introduced to something new.
Absolutely. Bring your kids. If you got kids, bring them because they're going to see some live dancing. It's like Sedona Dance Project. It's going to be beautiful. Thank you for sharing all of that. By the way, for those of you listening, as I've talked about before, Weird Detention, the movie, which I'm not going to tell you what the details are, but we're changing the name. It's true. We are. And who is the director of that movie? Amy Waddell. So this is Amy Waddell's dad, John Waddell, who did all those great sculptures.
Amy got the artist bug for sure.
She did.
She's super busy all the time and super creative, and I really admire her.
She's amazing. So now, so we know that you are running Tlaquepaque. I know there's some sort of a family thing that your dad was involved in owning Tlaquepaque.
Yeah, my dad. It's kind of a funny story because this was back in '98 that my father, I was in New York City, so I wasn't even here. I was working for Tommy Hilfiger at the time. Yeah, so I was not here. I had no idea that Sedona existed. My dad called up all excited because a broker had told him that there was a potential that Tlaquepaque was for sale. And he had just recently discovered Sedona himself. But he walked into Carolyn Cordovano, which was Abe Miller's daughter, her office. And my dad is a very casual man and had his baseball cap on and his khaki baggy shorts and the whole thing. And to be truly honest, they connected because she said, "You look just like my dad."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What are the chances?
She was very specific that she wasn't going to sell to a REIT. She wasn't going to sell to some big, corporation. It's always been a mom and pop operation. My dad took it over, and guess who he called? So a year later, not even a year, I think months later in June, he closed in February. I was out here in June.
So this is really interesting because I had no idea. First of all, I didn't even know you were born in Los Angeles.
Yes.
So you end up on the East Coast, which I love.
Yep. I was definitely urban gone rural. That's what I say to people.
Was it kind of a northern? Was it kind of like a northern exposure kind of thing? Like, what am I doing here?
Yes.
Because seriously, to come from New York and then you're here, you're like, I'm from New York. I'm having a great time. It's a big city, and then here.
Well, and it was so different. It was crazy different, and I think I'm the one that freaked everybody out because I am generally intense. I'm not nearly as intense as I was 28 years ago, but
okay, no, you're not intense.
I think I freaked people out. But it was just funny because I was always used to working so late, to 7 o'clock at night, and here it was like everybody shut down at 5.
Oh, I know.
Going to restaurants, that was such a different experience because we'd go at 7, and it's like people are closing.
I know, right? You were frustrated. You had to be.
I was a little confused. I was confused.
Like, Dad, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Well, at the time, I only signed up for 3 years. So I made him a commitment because I wanted a break from Hilfiger. So that was my deal. And then we transferred ownership because he had to make it worth my while. And then I fell in love and I got married, and the rest is history.
I know. It's amazing. What were you doing at Hilfiger? You got to tell me.
I ran the footwear.
Oh,
so
okay.
We launched, Tommy launched footwear. I can't remember the year.
And you knew him personally?
I've done interviews with him. We're not, I'm a worker.
I mean, you weren't like spending Thanksgivings together, but
no. We got invited to his any of his events we would go to.
How fun.
I would do videos with him to promote the product. Things like that. I worked out of his showroom, so it was not uncommon that, Tommy's coming and the silver tray with the tea and the I mean, literally the servings, and it was a whole wild experience in there. But
that's crazy cool.
I mean, so it was fun, and we did shoes for Mick Jagger.
Oh my gosh.
There was.
So did you meet these people when Mick Jagger comes in?
I did not meet Mick Jagger.
Okay. Who was the most famous person you met over there? Because I know you had to.
Sheryl Crow.
Oh, fun.
I don't know.
Well,
it's so long. It's like a lifetime ago.
It is. It's kind of like another chapter.
Yeah.
Completely.
It's a completely...
totally different life.
Yes.
So, all right. Talking about Sheryl Crow, you love music. You have music around you all the time. And you are a huge supporter of the local musicians here. Which, by the way, everybody who's listening who's not from Sedona, and those of you from Sedona, people come from all over the country to reside here and work here who are musicians. I mean, world-class musicians. So,
like yourself.
Thank you. That's so sweet. So kind of you. Thank you. I just remember meeting you in 2002. And so you had been here just a few years, which I had no idea. For all I knew, you had grown up here.
Oh, that's funny.
You know, is that funny?
It is funny.
None of us have grown up here. Well, John Conway. John grew up here. John, big shout out to you. He's the voice of the Sedona International Film Festival and Red Rock TV, where I work as well.
There you go.
So anyway, okay, so let's get back to this. I want to know a little bit about you, and I don't want to run out of time here. First of all, what's your favorite kind of music? If you had to choose one genre.
That's rough.
It is rough.
That's a tough question.
Because you've got, you
I'm
have it all,
going to say, this is probably going to be weird. I like 70s.
You okay?
I mean,
so
I know
classic rock.
But then give me some, house music. I mean, I love to dance, so
okay.
I would say. And then since I've been here so long, and my husband, now I like country. I mean, if you told me to listen to country 30 years ago, I would have laughed at you.
Who's your favorite country artist?
Oh gosh, don't do that to me.
No, I know. Do you like real
Jelly
country?
Roll?
Okay.
Is he country? I don't think so. No, I don't know.
Do you like Dolly? You like Dolly Parton?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you probably don't know Buck Owens.
No.
Aha.
I don't know names. I just listen to Sirius.
All right, well, I'm from Texas, so I just, now that I know, I'm going to haunt you with country music. Okay. That's hysterical. What is your favorite kind of food? Just curious. I never ask any of these questions, by the way, you guys. I think I asked Lisa some of these.
Chocolate.
Chef Lisa. Chocolate. Dark or milk?
Milk.
Oh, come on. You serious?
I know. I'm the
Really?
only one. Well,
You
I
are.
think there's a few diehards left.
Maybe.
I love chocolate. I'll eat dark chocolate, but the milk chocolate just melts in your mouth. And
Okay.
tastes
White
so
chocolate is kind of like, not so much.
I take it you don't like chocolate.
I love chocolate. I like dark chocolate.
That's funny.
If you want to win me over, dark chocolate is the way to come on. Bring it on.
I mean, I love See's candy.
Oh my God.
And
you're just, if you saw Wendy right now, you'd say like, there's no possible way this woman eats chocolate.
You said favorite, so that's my favorite food.
Okay. So your favorite food. But if I'm taking you out to dinner tonight, if I was doing that, what kind of food would you want?
I'm easygoing. I mean, I'm really easygoing. I grilled fish, Mediterranean.
Yeah, so you're healthy food.
I want to be healthy food. Yes.
I know, I am
too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's like I want clean food.
You got to do it.
Clean, good food.
Yeah.
I just like it.
Yeah.
Got to do it, and I love it. So, okay, what is your favorite holiday? Is it Christmas?
I think Thanksgiving.
Oh, I love Thanksgiving.
I love fall.
I
love the
fall.
change of seasons.
Right?
I love it. Yeah. I love the cool weather. I mean, Christmas is awesome, but it's work.
Do you drink coffee?
Yes.
Or tea?
Coffee.
Okay.
Energy drinks, too.
I was going to say. So if I wanted to give you a gift, it would have to be like a Starbucks or something, or maybe from your own coffee places there in Tlaquepaque.
Oh, wait. And you make killer chocolate chip cookies.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got it. I got to give a shout out to Shondra on that, because I used to get chocolate chip cookies, and they would be gone in a moment.
Okay. Well, I'm putting that on my list again. We're going to do cookies again. Yes. And now, of course, Ryan knows, so I'm going to be delivering cookies
the chocolate
here.
Chip.
Yes, I do make homemade chocolate chip cookies.
They're very good.
I cannot believe we've run out of time. You must come
already
back.
Over?
I know. Look at this. The red light
the red's
says
on.
everything.
Okay.
Right there,
I love
the
it.
red light. I'm like, no, not the red light. So you will definitely come back again, will you not?
Of course.
And tell us more about what's happening.
Absolutely.
And we get to know you more. When
Yes.
when you see Wendy running across the parking lot or talking to Lauren, who, by the way, she's handling all the weddings over there.
Yes,
If
that's my niece.
If you're getting married, you want to call to Tlaquepaque and ask for Lauren, because Lauren will get you there. We'll take care of you, officiates and photographers and the whole bit. Tlaquepaque.
She'll help make a smooth event.
Yes, that's right. You will never have to think of anything other than getting married, okay? Or having a party out there. You can do that too. Events are possible.
Well, thank you, Shondra.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being here, Wendy. This has been so much fun. I don't want to say goodbye, but
Bye.
Don't say goodbye yet. I'm going to say don't go yet. And you guys come on right back. Stay with me, okay?
You've explored the trails, stood in awe of the red rocks. Now, discover how Sedona became Sedona. The Sedona Heritage Museum tells the story of Red Rock country, from ancient cultures to today's vibrant community. It's interactive, family-friendly, and open year-round, indoors and out. Sedona Heritage Museum, preserving and sharing the soul of Red Rock country. Plan your visit at sedonamuseum.org or call 928-282-7038.
Take a deep breath, then let it go. At Sedona's New Day Spa, your escape begins the moment you arrive. Enjoy luxurious massages, rejuvenating facials, and native-inspired body treatments. Every moment is designed to restore balance and renew your spirit. Voted Sedona's Best Day Spa, this is more than self-care. It's your sanctuary. Book your experience today at SedonaNewDaySpa.com or call 928-282-7502.
When your project demands precision, experience, and trust, turn to Sefton Engineering Consultants. From expert civil engineering to construction management, we deliver real-world solutions that stand the test of time. With over 30 years in the business, Luke Sefton's team is committed to getting your project done right, on time, and on budget. Sefton Engineering Consultants. Reliable, experienced, personal. Learn more at SeftonEngineeringConsultants.com. Here's more of Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by the Dahl Group.
How fun is this? Oh my gosh. Love my guests. Always, always, always loving them. Fantastic, fun times with these people. Oh, do you hear that? You know what that means. Of course, if you've been listening, it is time for my shameless Shondra spot. Today I want to tell you, as I told you in the events calendar earlier, I didn't say too much about this, but yes. The extended version, that means there's an intermission, I have to say. You're going to love this because there's a cliffhanger. You're going to have to stay for the second part of it, is the Dead Quilters Society. And no, it is not about quilting. It's going to happen on November 7th, 8th, and 9th. That's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday coming up. I mean, it's right here, you guys. You got to come see the show. I'm so excited about this. It starts at 4 p.m. with a wine reception and some little nibbles. And then at 4:30 is when our show starts. And I'm excited because I've written 3 new songs. My creative partner, who is also an Emmy Award-winning writer. She's incredible, Dev Ross. She's written beautiful scenes, extra scenes. And the show, if you did see it, come back because it's all brand new in many, many ways. Yes, there are some similarities, of course. We didn't change the entire show, but we did add to it, and it's thrilling. And our actors are Dev Ross, Samantha Sanchez, Lisa Schatzglinsky, who's fabulous, and Gail Edwards, the TV star from Full House. She was actually Bob Saget's significant other, or wannabe, okay? And she was also in It's a Living. It just goes on and on. Broadway movies, Gail Edwards, phenomenal. And Reno and Sheila McCormick are our musicians. So if you saw the show in the very beginning, I was the only musician, and yes, I'm in it too. So make sure you go to sedonamuseum.org or visit deadquilters.com. That's deadquilters.com. And if for the holidays you want to honor someone special in your life as a woman in your life, a wife, a sister, an aunt, a grandma, or just a really close friend who happens to be a woman, we are now building a digital quilt where you can purchase for $25 a quilt patch, and you can post up a photo and put an actual honorary 280-word tribute to this woman, whoever she is, or women. So when you go to deadquilters.com, just make sure that you visit Threads of the Quilt, and you'll see all that information. Remember, the Dead Quilters Society, November 7th, 8th, and 9th at 4 p.m. Well, thank you for tuning in. I so appreciate it. I appreciate every time that you click on, when you go to mellowmountainradio.com on Saturdays at 10 a.m. and you click on Listen Now, you're going to hear this show, Sedona's Backstage Pass, where you're going to find great stories about individuals here in Sedona doing wonderful things. I'm just so thrilled you do tune in. And, of course, later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora Radio, and always on mellowmountainradio.com. You'll see them all archived there, and you can listen. I want to thank my sponsors, Sedona Heritage Museum, Sefton Engineering, Cleaner Quicker Car Wash, Sedona New Day Spa, Sedona Ballet, and my presenting sponsor, Chef Lisa Dahl and the Dahl Group. I also want to thank again my engineer and producer, always makes this show sound so good. That's Ryan Thompson. I'm waving to him as I always do. And also the owner of KAZM, and that's Chuck Helstein. Thank you, Chuck, for all that you do. And I'm going to sign off for right now, but remember, every Saturday, 10 a.m., Sedona's Backstage Pass. Get your VIP pass ready and come on board. See you then.